You're tuned into the biggest balls of them all. That's right, Playing with Balls podcast. We got sports and comedy for that ass. With Shannon Lee and Rachel Kopchak, you're about to go downtown, bitch, on the only podcast that sports platinum and brunette chicks. That's right, Playing with Balls podcast, you dig?
Welcome to the Playing with Balls podcast. I'm Rachel Kopchak.
I'm Shannon Lee, and we are reporting live from the Babe Cave in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, and it's not beautiful and sunny today. It's raining, and the world is ending in Los Angeles, everybody.
And it kind of smells like a wet dog, and I'm not sure if it's me or it's just the rain, but something is smelling weird.
It's very likely that it could be either
it's
of
our
us.
production team.
So thanks for joining our podcast today. We're going to talk all kinds of sports. In case you didn't know, Rachel Kopchak, am from Chicago, so I am Bears, Bulls kinda, Hawks number one, and then, you know, this little team called the White Sox that won a World Series champion in 2005.
But not this year. Obviously, it was the other Chicago team.
What other Chicago team? There's another Chicago team?
I feel like you have a lot of opinions on the Chicago team, so you should just lay it out right now.
Yeah, I hate the other Chicago team, the Cubs. Fuck the Cubs. I hate them.
You know,
they aren't special anymore because they won, and their whole like we've never won a championship before thing is over now. So.
You know what's kind of crazy is that Trump won the election, right? Mm-hmm. And my favorite movie ever is Back to the Future 2. And in Back to the Future 2, fucking Biff Tannen creates an alternate 1985 and ruins the world and becomes like this big guy, and the Cubs win the World Series. And so it's almost like we're living in alternate 1985.
Yeah, if only it wasn't actually 2016.
And also, I wish we had hoverboards.
Hoverboards would be great.
Yeah.
Do you know who?
But they don't float on water.
No, they don't.
No.
Like, you know those stupid hoverboards you see with people today? It's not an actual hoverboard. It's on wheels and it's on the ground.
That's called a skateboard.
Right. But it's like that one-wheeled thing that people were like falling down and breaking their asses with, and then they were like catching on fire.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they call that a hoverboard, which
it's not the same thing.
Do you know who else was rocking hoverboards today, though?
Who?
Odell Beckham Jr. On his pregame cleats, he
had... fuck that noise.
Oh, you have to like it, though. It was so cool. The cleats were awesome. You know, they do this, like, a lot of the players do these, like, pregame cleats where they wear them for, like, 2 seconds. But they had the hoverboard on it, and it had the, what is it? It's not GMC. DNC from the car.
I don't know what that is.
The car in Back to the Future.
Oh, the DeLorean.
The DeLorean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I kind of like that. Yeah, I did watch that game a little bit, the Giants game against Chicago Bears.
Yeah,
weird. But I am not a Giants fan because I am from Philadelphia. So that's, I was born and raised to fucking hate the Giants and the Cowboys.
Eagles are your number one, right?
For sure. Yeah, Eagles.
Like,
I'm wearing my Eagles shirt today.
Football number one.
Football's
Phillies.
Football number one. Eagles for sure. If we're talking just straight professional.
Yeah.
And then number 2 would be the Philadelphia Phillies. Number 3 would be the Flyers. Number 4 is obviously the Sixers because nobody cared about them since like the early 2000s. But
yeah,
I'm still an Iverson fan. I just watched his documentary actually. But yeah, I'm from Philly. I'm a comedian. And I have had a tough day in football because the Eagles played Seattle and we just got hurt. We lost both our running backs. Like, it wasn't the greatest day for the Philadelphia Eagles. But, I mean, then again, it's never really the greatest day because we've never won a Super Bowl. So,
right, it's always
that's how it goes. So that's very much like I'm a disciple of that from Philadelphia, and that's very much my personality, I guess. But you know me pretty well, so you already know that.
Yes. Yeah. And everything they say about Philly fans is almost true.
I don't know what they say, but exactly. I don't read all the things, but yes, we did throw snowballs at Santa Claus, but he also deserved it. And it was also in like the 70s because it was like a drunk Santa Claus because the real Santa Claus never showed up. Because he was like at the North Pole, like doing shit, you know,
making toys for kids.
But I think I read once that an ESPN writer wrote that Philadelphia fans are the most the fans with the highest level of passion in professional sports, coupled with the most relentless disappointment. So I think that's, and and I'm a product of that. So certainly, but I also don't agree with like white trash shit, like
peeing on peeing on
course
fans.
Not. That's terrible. I mean, only if you deserve it. But like outside of that, I don't agree with that at all.
Okay, so you're saying you would pee on somebody if they deserved it?
Of course, I would never do that. I would never do that. I'm just saying, like, if like a Giants fan came into like, Lincoln Financial Field and started talking shit and acting like an asshole, I'm not saying I hope he got peed on. I just hope that he gets, somebody does something about it. And I wouldn't be, I think, you got to know where you are. You have to adapt to your environment, kind of a thing. Like, I'd never go to Giant Stadium in an Eagles jersey. I just wouldn't do that out of respect for, for the rivalry within the NFC East.
Right.
But anyways, but today was tough. But outside of that, I think, I think we're in like a rebuild year. So I have a lot of opinions about the Eagles, but we're in a rebuild year.
Let's go into it. Go ahead.
Well,
spew your Eagles, and then we'll spew the Bears.
Well, I mean, we're in a rebuild year. We're in last place in the NFC East right now, but that's also because we've got a rookie quarterback, Carson Wentz, who is playing his first NFL games that he's ever played in the NFL. We've also got a coach.
I mean, he's doing pretty well, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he started out strong. He's having a little bit of some mid to end season struggles.
Well, here,
for sure.
I think a big part of the problem is the play calling, because we also have a rookie coach who's never called plays in the NFL either. He used to work under Andy Reid, so he does know like the Eagles culture. But at the same time, like, there's been so many play calls this year, like going for it on fourth down. Like the game before we lost to Seattle today, we won against Atlanta the week before, and then the week before that we lost to the Giants. And that game we left 6 points on the table because he kept going. It was like a college game where you go for it on like 4th and 10, but it was just really terrible play calling. So I don't necessarily not support the coach, but at the same time I support, of the two rookies we've got this year, the coach and the quarterback, which are arguably the two most important things in any team. I support the quarterback a lot more. I think Carson Wentz is very refreshing for Philadelphia because he knows how to read a defense, and you can see that. And for us, that's, we haven't had a quarterback that could do that. I mean, this is a bold statement, but as far as I can remember, since I was born.
I mean, and you gotta love a ginger.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I support gingers,
Yeah.
They, it's very American, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, today's game was a little tough for you. I mean, Russell Wilson looked like a running back out there, like a wide receiver.
Well, he was a wide receiver. No, he literally was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
They played a trick play.
Yeah.
Where they threw him. He switched. I forget who did he switch with. I don't remember.
But he was wide receiver.
It wasn't Doug Baldwin. It was I can't remember. But anyways, one of the wide receivers threw like a 25-yard pass to him in the end zone, and I remember looking at the TV and I was like, who the fuck is
that?
Wilson? Who else is Wilson that just caught that touchdown? It was Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Whoever has him as a fantasy
glad, and they never
quarterback
did
is
that
happy.
before. So that was great. One of the cool things though about something, I don't know if it's cool, but just like an interesting thing that happened today that I noticed during the Seattle Philly game was that their kicker, Seattle, they were kicking the extra point and they missed. And the announcer said that was the 10th missed extra point today across all of the NFL. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, yeah. I know a little bit of something about those missed points in the Bears game.
Did they miss an extra point?
Oh, yeah. They missed 2, I think.
I think it was blocked in my game. It was blocked.
Oh, yeah. No, these were straight up misses. And what's interesting about that is the Bears played the Giants, and the Giants have our old kicker, Robbie Gould, who's awesome. And I was a little upset about this loss.
Oh, I watched that game.
And he missed, but they were having major wind problems in New York. The wind was crazy. The ball was like going to the right, and then it was just like go to the left. But what does it mean? What's going on in the astrology charts that all these extra points and stuff were going in?
Well, it's not Mercury retrograde, right?
Not yet. Nope.
I mean, I know my sign's in Saturn, so that means like nothing about this, but but there's something going on because 10 missed extra. We're not talking about field goals. We're talking about extra points. Like
yeah,
Like, but the statistics on that of 10 missed extra points across all the NFL games today is like, I mean, if you can't make an extra point, then like you shouldn't be on the team in a way. And some of them were blocked, and that happens. But like, how
but
crazy?
not really.
Yeah, but how crazy is that it was like 10 today?
That's too many. That's too
and
many
the announcers
pissed
were
off
like,
fans.
ho, 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 we missed 10 points today. And then they just, like, moved on from it. But it's a weird statistic.
Yeah. I mean, that can win games. Those points win games.
Not in the case of the Eagles in Seattle, but...
Yeah, or the Bears-Giants game.
No,
but, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah, but see, like, the Bears, you already knew going into it that the Bears weren't going to win that game because here's the thing about the Bears, like, and you know this, like, we have the same opinion about, like, Jay Cutler and how Jay Cutler was legit smiling in the middle of the game while the announcers were like, ha ha ha. He is not
He's got the best arm in the league. No, he doesn't.
But whether or not he does, the thing they say before that is jokingly, well, we all know Jay Cutler's not really a leader, but it's like a funny joke.
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
not a joke when that's your team.
But like, how did the Bears like still employ him? Because they're like, oh, well, we're just gonna.
They love him. The organization, the owners have loved him from day one, and they've stood by him. They gave him. I know. Listen, you're telling me that he doesn't love the Bears back? As a Bears fan who hates Jay Cutler, hate him. If I saw him right now, I would punch him in the face, and I don't punch people ever. I've never fought with anybody, but he makes me so mad because of the smiling when he can't complete a pass. And then he got sacked like 10 times in the game against the Giants.
It's almost like he's Trump who like runs America now. He's just like smiling at everybody like, ha ha ha. I'm not really doing a great job.
No, but Jay Cutler, here's the thing. This is the argument I always make. He doesn't have to do a good job because he gets guaranteed money. He has a huge contract that he's severely overpaid for. He is in a town where Bears fans are always Bears fans and will go no matter how bad we are or how good we are.
The Bears.
So we're still fans no matter what. So he doesn't actually have to win games. So, I mean, like, we want him to win games, but he doesn't have to because it's a town where people love their team no matter what, and it's like a whole experience, and we tailgate and we go to the games, and it's like the one thing to do in the winter in Chicago, and it's freezing outside. So he's gotten away with it.
Stand outside and drink beer.
Yeah. I mean, and Jay Cutler's gotten away with it, and I can't wait for the season to be over because I can't wait until we get a new quarterback. I don't care who we get. I just want somebody who gives a shit and who respects the city of Chicago. Jay Cutler does not respect the city of Chicago. Neither does his shitty wife, Kristen Cavallari. She wrote an article like a year ago that she said, she was like, well, Chicago's just not our hometown. And I was like, well, then get out, bitch, because we don't want you and your 500 children and Jay Cutler anyway. Don't say that. How do you say that about a town that is amazing and full of such wonderful people, i.e. me, for example, who's maybe not looking like a great person right now, but Jay Cutler makes me really mad. And I know a lot of Chicago fans agree with this. I mean, you can't do that in a town like Chicago.
So,
I could go on for hours. Sorry, I just like went way off the rails.
I really liked Kristen Cavallari. What's her? Is that
I
her
don't
name?
know. Who cares? Kristen Stupid Face from the Hills or whatever.
On Laguna Beach.
Yeah.
But she was a bitch then. She's a bitch now.
I know.
You know? But
they deserve each other, those two.
She's really pretty, though. I mean, you have to give her that, you know?
Well,
she's like, pretty.
You know, who cares if she's pretty? Be a better person. Don't say
I'm just
terrible things about a city where your husband makes millions of dollars to play football in.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Sorry,
yeah.
I just yelled.
Yeah.
I'm not yelling at you. You know, I'm just like mad at her.
I'm not taking
and Jay
it personally because I'm not at all tied to Chicago sports like whatsoever.
I know. I'm just like ready for them to go.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think that's what I think is like annoying about watching. Like, I love all football because I play fantasy football, so like I have stake in the game when it comes to like different players, and so I mean, I just watch all the games anyway, but I pay specific attention. And in this particular case, I actually don't really care about the Bears, mostly because I don't have anybody in my fantasy team.
Right.
So I mean,
that's okay.
That's where the conversation for me ends. You know,
you don't have to. I mean, like that's why I just have my saving grace. I have my Chicago Blackhawks who don't disappoint me, and they make me really happy. And I love going to my Blackhawks games, and you know that's what matters is hockey.
So. Can we talk about the Babe Cave? Like, can we
yeah.
So you
have to describe it.
So we built this set, and at first we were calling it. What were we calling it? So we were calling it something different. like the girl cave or something.
Yeah.
And then we came up with Babe Cave, which is super cool. That also might be the name of like a strip club, which I wouldn't be surprised. Which this is not. It's actually my garage. But this is like my favorite. It's to decorate, and we have like all of our sports memorabilia in here. So like it's all on our like social media and stuff. But like we've
you
got
can check it out.
one of my least favorite things, but my favorite things at the same time is that possible is our sex toy box from April 20th of 2013 to May 7th of 2013.
We were very busy apparently using our sex toys separately.
I know, right? Isn't that kind of funny though? Like, and then we've got, you know, our Eagles stuff. We've got
Bears
our
stuff.
Bears stuff. We've got I've got my Clemson stuff because I'm a Clemson alumni who actually I can brag about that right now because they're killing
let's do it.
Well, they're in the top four
right
now, so they still have a shot. And actually, if they make it to the championship, fingers crossed, I am going to Tampa.
Ooh.
Essentially. Yeah, I already have the condo booked and everything.
That's exciting.
And then if they don't...
Because you went last year when they
Arizona.
were in the championship, right?
Yeah, and to Phoenix. And that was so fun. It was mostly fun because I graduated college like 10 years ago. So, and we also haven't made it to the championship since 1981. And so for an ACC team, which it's happened before, Florida State won a couple years ago, but ACC is typically known more for basketball than it is for football. And so for an ACC team to make it, especially Clemson, is like huge for us. But we played Alabama, and I felt like when I was there, like the Alabama fans were like dicks because they were like...
They kind of are.
They're just dicks anyway, but they were like, whatever, we like make it to the championship like every year, and then they beat us, so that wasn't great. But like it was so fun too because it was so new for us. Like most of us have never been able to go to this, and I could just drive like 5 hours. So my friend Bridget and I just like hopped in the car, like went down there, paid $450 each for a ticket, stayed at a Motel 6, probably got bed bugs. But we had such a great weekend because I saw people that I haven't seen in 10 years and like I wouldn't normally see.
Right.
Because they all live in the South, you know, and I live in LA. So that was amazing. And then on top of that, just like being able to like be in that stadium and like experience a college championship football game, like especially like for me.
Once in a lifetime thing, Shan.
It's a once in a lifetime thing for sure. So I'm hoping that they make it again this year, and if they do,
You're going.
I am going. And in addition to that, I am hoping that they play Alabama so we can kick their ass.
Yeah, I hope so too.
And I can give two big fat fucking fingers up to however you say. I'm really bad. You know, I'm bad with saying.
Like that Beyonce song.
I
Middle fingers up.
Put them hands high. But you know, I'm like really bad with sayings though. Like
yeah, we're both really bad.
My entire life, I said playing it by year.
By year, like
year.
Calendar year.
Like year.
Yeah,
like the year. It's the year 2016. And only recently somebody told me it was ear, and I'm like, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, it doesn't.
Well, neither does ear.
No, I know.
That's what I'm saying.
Neither of them make really any sense.
But play it by year to me makes sense because it's like play it by year. It could be 1981 or it could be 1992. Play it by ear. What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Play it by ear. I don't know. I have not looked up the history of that.
You know, I'm bad
saying.
with that kind of stuff, but whatever.
We'll have to look up and get back to you all on our next podcast.
Go Clemson Tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I love that you have a college team and you had that super college football experience because I went to.
So good.
You're really lucky to have that. I didn't really care so much when I was choosing colleges, you know, so many years ago. I went to a small liberal arts school. I went to Loyola University of New Orleans, and we don't have a football team. They barely have like a baseball team.
But at least you got to live in New Orleans.
I did,
know?
and that was more important to me. And they had a journalism program.
I have never had more fun to this day than like I've been to New Orleans like 3 times. I can't really remember what I did there. I know my friend lost her bra, not me. My friend lost her bra once.
Sure.
That's actually you
bra.
can't see the Babe Cave, but that's probably the bra. But New Orleans, not necessarily Bourbon Street, is the most fun city ever. So I have to think like, okay, I had the football team, but you had like the party scene. You know, I lived in like some bumfuck town in the middle of South Carolina. You know.
Yeah, but that's a fun college experience that I missed out on. I feel like I got a little bit of that quintessential college life after college. When I moved to Orlando eventually, I had like a group of friends, and it was basically like a
That's saying a
frat
lot
college
for
life.
Orlando,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, well, we had to just be drunk to live there because it's why do people, I didn't
I don't know
love
if you want to
living
be
there.
like Beauty, if you want to be like Bella or like Cinderella on the weekends.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Listen, I made great friends. I love my friends there, but I just didn't love living there.
I wouldn't have loved. I mean, I told you. Remember? So I told you this once that when I was driving to Miami to catch a cruise to go on my spring break of my junior year from Clemson, we stopped in Orlando because it was St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually was like, Orlando has a downtown. Like, I thought we were going to like Disney World or something. And actually, they have like 3 legit Irish pubs.
Yeah, and that's it.
And you know, Shannon needs to go to an Irish pub, you know, on St. Patrick's Day. That's a thing. Like, I have to do that. But,
Yeah. You know, when you were oh, sorry, go over and say.
That was it.
Oh, I was, you know, you talking about your college experience and not liking Alabama. When this is maybe a kind of a baller story, but not really. But when I lived...
And what's a baller story?
A baller story is what we will bring...
I just set you up.
Yes. Every podcast, we always share one of our baller stories with you guys, which is like anything from dating, life, just cool stuff that's happened to us. We like to share stories.
Juggling all the balls of life,
Right.
playing with balls, like whatever
That's
it is.
all of the balls
Yeah.
is what we do.
Yeah.
But this isn't really that, but it's kind of. So I went to college in New Orleans, and then I moved to Baton Rouge and worked in news after, because I'm a TV host and a news producer. And I worked in Baton Rouge there, and that is the hometown of the LSU Tigers. And I wasn't aware of the passion.
Oh, that's a big one right there. That's like that's like Clemson style, but in a bigger division.
Oh, yeah.
LSU, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like talking to somebody from Baton Rouge at a bar, and they were like, "Oh, so where are you watching the game?" And I was like, "What game?" And they were like,
Are you fucking crazy?
The game. And I was like, "I'm sorry, I just like, what are you talking about?" And they were like, "The LSU football game. Are you not a Tigers fan?" And I was like, "Well, I'm from Chicago, and we don't really have like a
To
college
them,
team."
that's like being like a heretic.
His
Do you know what I mean?
head almost, I swear to God, exploded at me. He was like, "I bleed purple and gold." And like, "What do you mean you're not a Tigers fan? You live in Baton Rouge." And I was like, oh, okay, I get this. So then whenever anybody was like, "Are you an LSU fan?" I was like, "Yes, go Tigers." Like, period, the end. And they were
Yeah.
just like, "Oh, okay, she's cool."
By
But I
the
had
way,
to like
I would
lie.
be embarrassed if I bled purple and gold. Those are just like weird colors.
I
But you know
know.
what I mean? But I had a similar
It was
experience because
crazy.
I almost went to Auburn. I got accepted to Auburn, and I don't know what a girl from the outskirts of Philadelphia in New Jersey is thinking about doing when she's going somewhere below the Mason-Dixon line. It was already hard enough in South Carolina. My first experience in college was getting into a fight about this fucking Civil War and who won it. That's a real story. That's maybe that's my baller
gosh.
story, but unless I've told that story before.
I don't know, maybe not.
Well, I'll tell it, but I really wasn't balling. If anything, I was like just defending history books. But I got
Wait, the Northern history books, which are different than the Southern history books, right?
Not the Northern history books. The American history books, which are only different in the South. So it's not just Northern.
Right.
It's like,
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? It's not like we have all these like cute different ideas about what happened. It's like, no. Like, California has the same history book that I had when I grew up, you know, and I grew up 3,500 miles away. The South potentially has, listen, I love the South. I lived there forever. It's one of my favorite places, but there's a possibility that they have a different history book. It's just, I read that somewhere. But anyways, I got accepted to Auburn, and they're also the Tigers. And actually, it was really hard for me because this is a fun fact. The same architect that built Auburn University built Clemson University, and then they're both the Tigers. So, isn't that crazy? And so, nothing against Auburn, but academically, Clemson, I felt like, was a little bit better. And then also, I was a little bit freaked out about going to Alabama as a girl from above the Mason-Dixon line. And I didn't actually know how much of a good idea that was until I went to Clemson, and got into that first argument with somebody that I got in literally, I think it was 2 days after I lived there.
Jeez.
Big argument at a fraternity party about who won the Civil War. Mm-hmm. And
I don't really think there's an argument. But
no, I didn't. Okay, Rachel, that's my argument.
I know.
That was actually my argument. I'm like, this isn't really like an argument.
It's like that's just what happened.
Well, I guess I have to tell the story. So I was like walking by, you know, I have no friends. I know nobody. And I'm like walking by this guy at a fraternity party. And he was like kind of cute. And he's super Southern. I don't know where he's from. Who cares? But like he basically was talking to this other guy. And by the way, how fucking uncool are you if you're talking about the Civil War at a fraternity party?
Very uncool.
Do you know what I mean? Like the least coolest person ever, so I probably should have just kept moving anyway, but I'm like, I have no friends and I'm 18, so I'm gonna like interject and be helpful. So they're having a debate about who won the Civil War, so I just thought, you know, I'll be helpful, I'll make some new friends. So I just was like, I had like a red Solo cup in my hand, I just got it, came from the keg, and I was like, hey guys, like all like doe-eyed, and I was like, hey guys, the North won the Civil War. And that was just the wrong thing to say.
Yeah.
Because apparently
that didn't happen in their
bubble
world.
of the country, they did not win the Civil War. And so the guy got all aggro on me, the Southern guy, and he was like, the South won the Civil War, and like blah, blah, blah. But I wasn't like, I was just like, I wasn't like arguing for the North on behalf of the North. I was just confused. Because I was like, no, like, I mean, I'm not like a history buff. I'm not a history major, but like that's one thing I know is that the North won. So we get into this like debate about who won the Civil War, and I'm like, this is the fucking craziest, weirdest place ever. And this girl pulled me aside. She was my very first friend at Clemson, and she's from Connecticut, and she was like, hey, my name is Allie, and my name's Allie Kennedy, and I'm from Connecticut. And I had the same conversation yesterday.
Of course, that's her name.
Oh, she's a fucking Kennedy, of course. Yeah, no, her parents like summered in Nantucket, you know, the whole thing. She even had the accent. She sounded like such a basic babe. And she's like, I had this conversation with somebody else yesterday, and you're gonna lose that. I want to get out of the Allie accent, but you're gonna. She's a nice girl. She's my first friend, but she's like, you're gonna lose this battle. And I was like the South won? Like the South won, or like the South lost? You know what I mean? Or like the North, like, or like how the North lost the battle. Like I don't get it. Like, and she goes, no, they think that they won. So if you want to make friends here, then you just have to pretend that the South won the Civil War.
Right, just like I pretended to be an LSU fan.
And this is the beginning of a movie called Cultural Shock.
Uh-huh.
Basically, because I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? Why did I decide to go to school in the Bible Belt, you know? Yeah. But it was a great experience, but that's just like one of my funny stories. That and the one where I dated a guy who was a senator's son of South Carolina, who I ended up having to break up with because he wouldn't take me to meet his father. And I thought it was because I had a nose ring, because that's what he told me. But it was really, it came out that it was because I'm from New Jersey.
Naturally.
And I'm like,
it's a
wait
weird
a minute,
world.
Is being from New Jersey, like I've never felt discrimination about being from New Jersey until I went to
the South.
The South.
Yeah. I mean, I think this, even though this was a couple of years ago, I think this is a very accurate reflection of the differences in the way that our country thinks about one another. You know, people from the North and the South are maybe still a little bit divided. Clearly they are in our election results, but we'll not go down that road.
No.
But you know, that's still an accurate reflection of some of the misconceptions.
Yeah, I wonder, because the South is very, like, you know, the South is very conservative. I wonder how they do feel about us electing like our first orange president.
I think they're probably very happy
about our first orange president.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I want to know who does his spray tan.
He's like the epitome of a basic bee. Basic bitches get spray tans, okay? I'm not going to pretend like I don't get them from time to time. I actually have a fading one right now.
Yeah. Doesn't look too bad.
No, it looks pretty good.
Like, whoever spray tans Melania must just, like, go to Trump with her leftover and, like, half spray tan his face. He's like, just do my face, you know?
Well,
or however he talks, you know? And, like, that's all he cares
like
about.
In the mafia.
Well, who knows? Maybe he is.
I think
anyway.
they do his
face and his hands
like 15 times over, because you know, we had our first black president, now we have our first orange president. So that's a thing.
Yeah.
You know.
So, and you know what else we have first here in LA this year, Shannon? We have a professional football team.
Fuck it. Who cares about the Rams?
The Rams are here. Hey, it's kind of
care. I'm just being honest though. I could care.
Well, you know who cares? I'm going to tell you who cares.
Who?
Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa, and that's it. LA fans all left today. They left the game. Wiz isn't even from LA, but he was seen at the game with Snoop Dogg. Those are, I think, the only people, honestly, who care about the Rams, because people were leaving in the middle of the third quarter, and then they lost.
You know what's so
to
funny?
the Dolphins.
The fucking Dolphins.
That's so LA, though.
Can I tell you something funny? So I actually had one of my girlfriends texted a bunch of us today. I think you were invited too. And she's like, oh my God, do you want to go to the Rams Dolphins game? I got tickets.
Yeah, we should go.
One of our producers got invited too, who I'm not supposed to be talking to right now, but
she's here. Our producer Brooke is here, just FYI.
And she was like, she texted me. She Facebook messaged us, and then we didn't answer, so she Snapchat messaged me, and I straight just didn't answer because I was like, why in the fuck would I want to go to a Rams-Dolphins game ever? I mean, I don't...
Oh, I want to go to a game at the Coliseum before they move down. I want to, go. That would just be fun. It's history.
All right, so I'm thinking...
For history purpose.
So I think the people that are probably listening to me are agreeing with me.
Yeah.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is...
Yeah, it's a horrible football game.
Here's the point. Who the fuck wants to go to a Rams-Dolphins game? I'd rather kill myself. I think that the South won the Civil War more than I'd rather go to that game. That's what I believe. Because that's two of the shittiest teams. I could give 10... Here's a rant that I'll go on. I could give 10 fucks that the Rams are here. I think it's annoying because here's why. They were in St. Louis. Who cares? They sucked then. They suck... It's actually worse now. And they were even really bad then. And they just cause more traffic. That's it. There's no reason for the Rams to be here.
Yeah, and it didn't help that it rained today either, because LA shuts down when it rains. Just FYI, everybody else who doesn't live in LA, it's the apocalypse when it rains here. And I saw some asshole tweet today that his Twitter handle was something like, LA actor, and it was like, it's raining and we need the rain, but please drive slower because there's 12 months of oil on the road. And I'm like, actually, dick, that's not how this works. When it rains, because I know this because I just had to take driver's class because I ran a red light and had to do a red light ticket, and that's more bullshit that LA has here. Red light cameras, they don't exist anywhere else but in LA. And I had to take driver's class or whatever, and so it was like, the only dangerous time driving on the road when it begins to rain is the first 20 minutes of rain mixes with the oil on the road.
It's called hydroplaning.
And it's not for the last 12 months of oil on the road, you dummy. I was so mad. I almost wanted to tweet at him.
Well, you know what you should have done? You should have at least unfollowed him for that dumbass
I know.
comment.
I was like, you're so stupid. Learn about the rain. This is what LA people are. This is how they think, about the rain.
Well,
just wanted to make a example.
The funny thing is because I shouldn't say most, but a lot of people are transplants, from different parts of the country, right? So
you know how to drive in the rain.
Yeah, because I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah,
but that's my point. A lot of people are transplants, so those of us that are transplants are think it's ridiculous. But I mean, when you actually live in one of the most desirable climates in the entire world, which is Los Angeles or Southern California in general, it's our median temperature or mean, I'm bad at math, in math terms, I don't know. One of those, median, whatever, is 72. Yeah. With no humidity. Yeah. And so the 5 days a year that it rains in a fucking drought, people lose their goddamn mind. Mm-hmm. It's actually a joke I do as a stand-up, about how people just, when they start hydroplaning, they get so freaked out they just start making lefts into everything.
Race car drivers?
Everybody looks like a crazy Sesame Street driver. You know,
they do.
Everyone just loses their mind. I'm like, you guys, I grew up in fucking snowstorms. Yeah. Have you ever heard of, I talked to a guy who's from LA. By the way, don't ever date somebody that's from here because they're the worst. But they, broad statement, but because they just, that's just been my experience.
It's just hard. It's hard to relate. It's harder to relate.
But I dated this guy very briefly from LA, and we broke up at Black Ice. Because he's like, "What's black ice?"
Oh,
and
no.
I was like,
bah.
and I was like, black ice is ice that you can't see, and you your car could spin out on it, and it's dangerous. He goes, "No, wait, is that black ice, that you put in a cup, black ice or something?" And I was like, "I think we should break up."
Oh my God!
I don't think we
you
should
have to have had at least heard of black ice.
He's never even heard of it but it's a privilege.
Jeez.
Listen, if I'm my goal is to eventually have maybe a kid or 4 more English bulldogs and raise them here, and that's a wonderful life for them because it's as a parent. You're always, which I'm not really. I have an English Bulldog, but it's like you always like want better for your. You hear the saying, you want better for your kids than what you had. So like, yeah, if you could like raise kids here, that'd be great for them. But they're gonna be like that asshole that's like, is that like dirt on a piece of ice in your cup?
No,
and
you're gonna teach them.
And then some woman is gonna break up with them because she's gonna be like, you're dumb. But like, anyhow, I think it's a great example of like people that grow up in like this bubble.
Yeah.
And this is LA. And so when it rains, it's like, people don't understand what hydroplaning is. They don't know how to pump brakes. They just act like dicks on the road, basically.
That's all day, every day, especially, but it's like on high alert when it's raining.
Well, yeah, but also because there's so much goddamn traffic here, which is originally my point about why I couldn't give 10 fucks about the Rams, and I actually hate them more now than I did when they were in St. Louis. And I didn't hate them, I just didn't care, because who cares? But like, because they cause more traffic now.
Yeah.
And that's it, you know?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, but so do like Dodgers games and... You know,
no, well, I mean,
stuff.
the Dodgers have always been here, though. My point is that this is
an added layer.
This is something where, like, I lived here before the Rams, so so now I know that it's worse. Like, if you don't know any better, then, like, who cares? But it's, like, more of a parking lot on the 405 because of the Rams.
Yeah.
And it's, like, at least be good Rams if you're going to cause all this traffic.
Yeah.
But you're not even good.
Well, I didn't actually receive any of those invitations to the game. Had I would have wanted to go, but we had other things to do. But that's just besides the point.
Oh,
but
well,
it's okay. I don't feel left out.
I don't think you know our friend Allie.
Oh, no, I don't. I thought it was somebody else. Never. I thought it was somebody else.
Oh, no. I mean, if I thought that was a game worth going to, I would go. And now if they were playing the Eagles, I would absolutely. I mean, if they were playing the Bears, you would go. But it's
but they're not.
When the Rams
so it's
are
okay.
playing the Dolphins, it's like watching two retarded kittens like fight.
Yeah.
You know? That's what I think.
Yeah. I mean, I
like how Rachel's just like, yeah, like totally.
No, I agree with you.
Retarded kittens fight all the time. It's like a thing that happens too.
Oh, no, I understand what you're saying. Like, I can. Your analogy made perfect sense.
It's cute, but it's dumb.
Right. Very cute and dumb. I still want to go just to say that I went to a Rams game the first year that they were back in LA.
I'm not saying it's...
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to be a good game. It's just going to be a game because, you know, I'm unfortunately not going to be in LA when my Blackhawks are in town, which makes me very upset. But I've already been to a game.
When are they in town?
So the Blackhawks always come to California the week of Thanksgiving, which is this week.
Oh, they always do?
Yeah, they do because...
They play the Anaheim Ducks?
They play all the teams. So the circus comes to town in Chicago. Like, for real. Like, the real circus goes to Chicago always then.
On Thanksgiving week?
Yeah, and so they, or at least
Is
they
that why
used
you're
to.
going home for Thanksgiving?
Yes, I'm going home to the circus. It's going to be a real-life circus. But no animals involved, but some shenanigans for sure. I am going home to Chicago for
I was just
Thanksgiving.
fucking with you.
No, I know, but it's going to be a circus.
I don't really think you're in a circus.
No, yeah, it's going to be like a little bit of a shit show because I'm going to my best friend from high school's wedding. She's getting married the day after Thanksgiving, and it's also my mom's birthday. I know.
Black Friday?
I know. Yeah.
You're supposed to be online shopping. You're not supposed to be at a wedding.
I know. It's going to be interesting.
It's Monday? No, Black Friday.
Black Friday. And, well, yeah, it's
the
both.
Friday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's... Monday. Cyber Monday is the...
Oh, I just said online because
holiday.
I don't like to go to the stores when there's all the people.
No, but so the Blackhawks, so when I'm going home, they're not there, which makes me doubly frustrated. But what they do is they come to California and they do San Jose, they play the Sharks, they play the Kings and the Ducks.
Sharks.
I don't know if it's that order, but they do a whole weeks-long road trip, and I don't get to see any of the games. I didn't get to see them last year either when they were here. But when I was home in...
Well, stop going to the circus.
Home. I know. It's terrible. No more circus trips. Well, I hope you're all listening.
You're in like that age group, I feel like, where like everybody, and I am too to some degree, but I feel like because a lot of my friends are from the South, they got married like younger, but I'm not saying anything about the South. It's a thing. But I was in my girlfriend's wedding when we were 23. Wow. But you're in that like phase where you have to keep like flying back to where you're from to like go to all the weddings. You know, I have to do that in October, not till October of next year though, which is good. Yeah.
I had 4 weddings. This is the last one of the year, and then I'm done. So you better not get married next year because I can't do it. Okay, Shannon?
Well, the last time I had to go to Philly for a wedding, It was because it was my wedding. That's the last time I went to Philly for a wedding. So, it was a great wedding, but that was in like 2010, I think. And then that couple got divorced, so now I just have to go for my cousins.
Oh gosh.
I'm speaking about my divorce in a third person.
There you go.
But I mean, if I got married again, which I think I would elope anyway, probably, and like, or do like a destination thing. I already had the big shebang, so. Like, no offense, you're like one of my best friends, but you might not even be invited to my next wedding.
That's quite all right.
Yeah,
I take no offense. I
just
might
because like I already did it. I mean,
that.
like I might not have like
what do you need to do like a whole big thing? Yeah,
no, because it's really about the ceremony. It's not like about the reception. Mm-hmm. You learn that in your first marriage, by the way. So advice to everybody in your the first time you get married, you learn that the reception is super fun. Then after you get divorced, you learn that the second wedding is just really about the ceremony. Mm-hmm. I haven't gotten to the second wedding yet, though, because I'm single.
Yeah, I'm not there. I'm not even on the first wedding.
I'm still playing with a couple balls. So.
That's good. You and me both. Yeah, not even close to that W word, wedding.
No.
Ugh. I'm just not a fan of
you're not
weddings.
engaged, so.
I know, but I hate all of the stuff, all of the stress, all of the whole thing.
All the weddings? Well,
all the wedding stuff.
I actually really like going to weddings because I don't feel like emotionally like tied to them.
I'm not
like
in it. Going is fine.
I don't like being in it because it's like
you're like
you have to pay. Well, the reason I don't like being in it is because you have to pay all this money.
Oh yeah.
For stuff like the presents and like the dress and like the whatever.
And then those people who make you pay to get your hair done.
I actually really like going to weddings. I'm going to a destination wedding in Puerto Vallarta.
Ooh la la.
I don't know how you say it.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
In Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Well, I do have a spray tan, so it could make sense. And I'm allowed to say that now that Trump is president. But anyways, I am going in May of next year. And see, to me, I think that's going to be fun because there's like, it's basically just like a destination wedding to me is like going on vacation, but it's also like planned activities. Mm-hmm. So it's like stuff to do plus vacation. So it's like when they're all doing the shit, because I'm not in the wedding, I get to just like hang out by the pool and be on vacation. And then I have like fun stuff to do at night, like rehearsal dinners or like weddings. Mm-hmm. But like outside of that, I'm not involved.
Yeah.
So I think destination weddings are the best. Actually, maybe I'll have one of those. Now that I'm thinking about it, I like to process things out loud. Maybe I'll have my second wedding will be a destination wedding to my future husband.
Sounds good.
Who is TBD at this time.
Yep. You know what we're going to have to do next year as well? Next fall. So I would like to plan a trip with you to Las Vegas.
Ooh, I love Vegas.
But on one condition.
What?
We have to go to a hockey game in Vegas when they get their hockey team. Because they're getting a hockey team.
Wait. So
Vegas is finally getting a hockey team. I'm pretty sure it's for 2017.
Vegas,
they already have a football. They already have a football stadium. I'm sorry, a hockey stadium. T-Mobile Arena. They haven't finalized a name yet, but they are officially getting it.
Who's
and
funding
then
this, like Wayne Newton or something?
No, it's a private or, and then
none of my jokes land on Rachel.
That would be great if Wayne Newton was funding it. Or Siegfried and Roy.
You could. I mean, there's a lot of people that could be doing it. It could be like David Hasselhoff. No, not him. The magician guy. I forget his name.
David Copperfield.
Copperfield, yeah. Bette Midler. Oh, you know why I want to go to Vegas?
Look up the hockey.
I have always, not just because I watched Beaches last night until 4 a.m. and cried in my soup and my whiskey, but I actually have always wanted to go to Vegas to see Bette Midler.
I would go with you.
I love Bette Midler. Who doesn't love Bette Midler? Like she's like before my time ish, but like there's people that love Barbara Streisand. I'd say like I'm like a person that loves like Bette Midler.
Okay.
Like she's got like
well, she's funny.
She's she's a comedian, but she's also like I love her voice. Oh, I love everything about her. I've been trying to rent the movie Stella for like 3 years.
I don't know this movie
on digital. Digitally, and you can't find it. No, you can't find it. That's why I ended up watching Beaches, and then when the lady dies in the end, Barbara Hershey, I'm like, why did I watch the fucking movie? Like, it was really not what you should be doing at 3:30 in the morning.
Beaches is a real cry fest.
It's a real tear fest, I'll say.
Here's
I had heart to hearts with all these people at like 4 a.m.
Here's the
Check my text.
update on the hockey team in Vegas. So their name is going to be some variation of Knights, like KN, or Desert Knights, Silver Knights, Golden Knights, something like that.
They all sound like strip clubs.
It does sound like a strip club producer, Brooke. It does.
You're allowed to talk. It's fine.
Yeah, it does sound, but that's perfect for Vegas. And then they're going to get the Raiders, right? Isn't that going to happen? So they'll have a football team.
The Raiders.
The Oakland Raiders, yeah. There's talks for in
No.
the next year or two for Oakland to move to Vegas.
It's a discussion.
Talk.
No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen though. I don't think
I
it's
don't
going to happen.
know. One team, just a snowball effect. They're going to have all the teams now. They're going to start poaching teams, Vegas. Hey, it's more fun for me to go to Vegas. I'm looking forward
Listen,
to it.
I love Vegas, but I mean, if you want me to go to a weird hockey, their hockey thing, I'll go.
Yeah.
I mean, just if that's what you want to do, and then we can do what I want to do, which is gamble.
Okay, I'll sit with you and
love to
watch you gamble.
You don't gamble?
I don't gamble. I don't like losing money.
I
Throwing away money.
I never lose money in Vegas.
I believe you.
Never.
I believe
I
you.
lose money in Atlantic City because that just happened. But I absolutely, the last like 5 times I've been to Vegas, I've always left up.
Okay.
But I'm a gambler. Like, I'll bet on everything.
That's fine. You can
I like
gamble.
to go to the sports book. The sports book, I forget, is that Caesars? I can't remember. But sports book is like, so like the best time to go to Vegas that I've ever experienced is like during the NFL playoffs, because you go to the sports book and then you start making bets, placing bets on like stuff that's going to happen. Like he's going to fumble the football in the 4th quarter and then you
Oh.
win money.
Whoa.
It's
you
so
can
fun.
bet that.
Oh,
bet
you
that
can
specific?
bet anything. It's so fun.
Oh, wow.
No, I've always left up. I mean, I'm not talking about like thousands of dollars. There was like a time when I like might have left with like $1,000, but I'm not like throwing like that much money at it. But like I've always wanted Vegas, always.
All right. Would you, when you go, are you going to place a bet on the Eagles winning the Super Bowl anytime soon
Well,
in your lifetime?
When are we going next year? You said a specific time.
Oh, I think in the fall when the hockey season starts.
You can't
I'm
place a
pretty
bet
sure it's
about in your
2017.
lifetime. It has to be specific to that year. So the only
No.
thing I will say is I bet with my head and not with my heart. And so
that's good.
So in 2017, it depends what the team looks like.
Okay.
That is my diplomatic answer
Okay.
for the Philadelphia Eagles. But yeah, if they look good, I would totally bet on them. But I'm gonna bet on who I think is gonna win at the time. So
I mean, do you think just that at all in your lifetime you're going to get a Super Bowl championship?
I think it's possible because I believe in the franchise, and I think that's a big part of it. Like, you know, like the Oakland Raiders are a great example. Like they finally turned their shit around like this year. And the reason I know so much about them is I don't know why I do, but like this year it's
Do you have some of the players on your
I have
fantasy team?
Latavius Murray and I have Amari Cooper. So I've been watching a lot of Raiders games, and they've only lost 2 games. They still have the most fucking penalties in the league, but they've made some changes in the franchise. That and that's the most important thing, because at the end of the day, guys, there's always we're always working for the man, right? And that's
Making
how
money.
it works for every NFL team. They're not the ones making those decisions. So, like for example, my most hated team of all time, which Brooke and I can agree on, are the Dallas Cowboys. And one of the reasons why they've always sucked is because they've been so into Tony Romo, because Jerry Jones, the owner, is so obsessed with him at the expense of the team, and that's an owner, that's coming from the top. So that's an owner decision. That's a franchise decision. So my point is that, and they're probably only good this year because Tony Romo is not playing, because they're like 9-1 right now, which is like super annoying. But we did do a skit where Jerry Jones got hit in the head with a dildo, so that was my favorite.
You can watch
But
that
but
on
at the
our
end of the day,
Facebook
the decision. So it's really about, like, I think for any team, the Bears included, like the problem is that the problem's not really Jay Cutler. The problem is not really the fact that Eagles are in rebuild mode.
Right.
The problem is who they support. So if they support, like, if Chicago supports a guy like Jay Cutler, well, that's when Jay Cutler is long gone. That's a problem that might continue to be cyclical or
Right,
repeat
if they're
itself.
just trying to support
Right.
a quarterback instead of all the other...
And with the Eagles and Jeff Lurie and everything, like, I definitely agree with the decisions that they make. I'm so glad they got rid of Chip Kelly. They didn't give him more time than they should have, which is what some teams would have done. They would have kept him on for too long, like trying to still make it work. They got rid of Bradford after 2 years. So I definitely think it's possible to see it in my lifetime as long as I continue to believe in the franchise, which I do.
Right.
So, and I like that the franchise, though, if anybody from the franchise or is connected is listening, needs to make some better decisions on wide receivers next year. Just saying, because we don't have anybody that knows how to catch the ball. Yeah. So that's a part of our problem too. Carson Wentz is making good throws, but like he can only hit our tight end because he's like the only guy that can like fucking catch the ball consistently, and outside of Matthews. But we've got like Aguilar and like whatever, and Green Beckham and these guys that like they've got skip. Aguilar is like one of the worst pickups in my opinion. He can't fucking catch the ball. So like get somebody who can catch the ball, and then we'll be great. So yeah. They will win the Super Bowl before I die, for sure.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty content right now. I mean, if the Bears get a Super Bowl, great. I just like don't know if that'll happen, but I've already got 3 Stanley Cups. I've got a baseball World Series in my lifetime. Like, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, you're like packing heat.
Yeah, I don't have much to complain about. I also have 6 NBA championships in my lifetime, like of the Jordan era. Like, I'm all right. I'm not gonna be greedy, and I'm okay if I don't get to see a Bears Super Bowl in my life. I mean, technically, they won the year I was born, so I kind of got one. But that doesn't count.
Good, guys.
A ring
feels really good.
The ring does feel good.
We're not getting into a debate about
rings feel real good,
Shan.
Shan. Rings feel real good, and I hope one day you get to know what that feels like. How about that?
I feel like you're being condescending. Thank you so much. Chicago and Philly have no beef with each other.
No,
maybe you and I do, but they don't.
No, I don't. No, I really do hope you get it, because it really is. It really is something that sports fans. That, I mean, it's a feeling that you just can't describe. Well, I mean, it's just so rewarding, and it just feels so wonderful when you get to see somebody else accomplish.
So here's what I'll say.
You're going to love the feeling. How about that?
What I think about it is, like,
I'm not trying to be condescending, honestly.
No, I know. And I believe in the franchise. I think what would be cool about it is because it has been such an impossible thing, just like the Cubs winning the World Series, for example, like, when it actually and there's like supposedly a curse, just like there was with the Cubs. So like I know that you hate the Cubs, and I don't want to get into a whole Cubs thing, but the one thing I'll say about the Cubs is the curse of the Billy Goat, and they hadn't won since what year? 1908. So listen, I'm a Philadelphia fan. I'm hanging on by a thread, okay? If the Cubs can win the World Series, the Eagles can win the Super Bowl, and I'm out.
All right,
mic drop.
Done.
All I gotta say about that.
On that note,
This is our first episode.
Yeah, if you guys liked it, we would really like you to subscribe, rate, review, share the ever-loving shit out of our podcast on social media, which is at Playing with Balls everywhere.
And you know what? This is a segment where you and I just did one together in the Babe Cave, which we will do a lot, and because we love the Babe Cave, and we drink whiskey in here.
Yep.
We have producers that talk shit to us because they're from New York and they're fucking
Giants
assholes, and they're fucking sitting there with their fucking smug 2-ring face on, smoking cigs, and on our fucking set. That's what happens in the Babe Cave, because we're ladies, but we also, we keep it real.
Yeah.
We also have interviews. Our next one of our next episodes is an interview. One of our first interviews. So we've got like different people, like sports related people, like NFL wives, former athletes, current athletes, or comedians who were athletes or somehow tied to sports. Females, like we have a lot of different, and I'd say a very eclectic mix of people that we interview. Yeah. So that's really cool.
Something for you guys to look forward to.
Yeah. So this was really exciting. This is our launch, and we love to play with balls, and we believe in playing with balls. I mean, if you're not playing with balls, then what are you doing with your life?